Chapter 6. The New Path. The fire circle was quiet. Ashes lay in soft mounds where flames had danced the night before. Stray footprints curved through the clearing, reminders of the songs, the steps, the stories shared. The air held a kind of stillness that comes after something important, like the earth was listening for what would happen next. Sula walked slowly along the outer edge, her cup tucked beneath her arm, wrapped in a piece of soft cloth. She hadn't slept much. She wasn't tired. Not exactly. Something in her chest felt awake, as if it had been resting all this time and had only now begun to stretch. No one had said anything to her after the ceremony. No praise, no questions, but people had looked. She had seen the way their eyes followed Luma's hands as she lifted the cup. She had felt the quiet settle around her when she placed it on the mat. She had heard the whispers as she passed, low, unsure, curious. Now the swirl felt different. It no longer belonged to only her. Small shifts. Later that morning, Sula wandered toward the communal shade shelter where the older women worked on weaving mats for trade and ceremony. Strips of river cane and dyed reeds lay in neat piles, and the sound of fiber snapping and fingers brushing smooth surfaces filled the space. She stopped a few steps away, unsure if she should go closer. One of the weavers, an auntie whose name Sula didn't know well, was working quietly, her hands moving with practiced ease. The pattern she wove was familiar. Rows of diamonds, lines like ripples on water. But then, there, near the edge, was a curve. Not a full swirl, not bold, but a looped line that bent inward, turned back slightly before merging with the next. Sula stared, heart fluttering. The woman didn't say anything about it. She just kept weaving. A few feet away, a cluster of young children sat in the dirt, scratching shapes with sticks. One had drawn what looked like a sun, another a fish. A little boy, no older than 5, was slowly dragging his stick in a circle, round and round, tighter and tighter. Sula knelt beside him. He looked up, grinning, and pointed at the swirl. "Like the cup," he said. Sula blinked. "You noticed?" He nodded. It looked like it wanted to spin. She smiled. Maybe it did. Voices behind her caught her attention. 2 older women speaking in low. She heard only a few words. Her cup, different. Luma didn't stop her. Sula didn't turn around. Instead, she looked down at the swirl the boy had drawn, then glanced at her own hand. The cup had survived the fire. The swirl was moving through the village now, quietly, slowly, like memory returning. A new vessel. The clay was warm from the sun when Sula reached into the basket and pulled out a fresh handful. She sat cross-legged near the edge of the spring where the ground was soft and the air carried the scent of water and green things. She didn't rush. Her fingers worked slowly, pressing and shaping, listening for the weight and balance in the clay, the way Luma had taught her. But this time, her hands moved differently. Not because the technique had changed, but because she had. Luma sat nearby, smoothing the rim of a bowl. She glanced up once, studying Sula's work, and then quietly asked, "Does the earth speak to you today?" Sula looked down at the forming vessel, at the curve beginning to rise from the vase. "Yes," she said, "I think it already knows." Luma nodded. "Then let your hands remember." Sula didn't respond. She didn't need to. Her thumb traced a soft spiral near the base of the cup. Not carved yet, just a suggestion, waiting to be made real. She didn't know who would see this piece or when, but she would shape it anyway, because the swirl was no longer just a symbol. It was a story, and Sula knew how to tell it. I hope you enjoyed this chapter of Memory in the Clay. Tune in next week to hear what comes next for Sula. To purchase the printed book or explore the digital edition and teacher resources, check the description below. Until next time, may your hands remember what your heart already knows.